Hello, welcome back to my channel, Retire Abroad Finance. My name is Martha, and it's that time of the month. It's time to talk about how we did the month before with our investments and our net worth and see if we're any closer to our goal. So our goal used to be 750,000. We met that at the end of August. In fact, we surpassed it. And so I reset a new goal of $800,000. So let's see how we did in October and see if we're any closer to that goal. So, a couple of things to talk about before I actually start giving you the numbers. And the first thing is that this month I decided to go ahead and pay for some bucket list items. And one was especially expensive. Um, and that's why I did that extra contract work was to be able to do these. So this was coming. So, keep in mind that this figure is given about $11,000 in bucket list item spending. So let's see how we did. All right, so to start off, I have emergency funds in a cash account. It's in Fidelity in a cash management account. It pays just shy of 4%, and that stays liquid, and that money will get us home. It will do a variety of things in the event of a serious emergency. So let's see. Okay, so we can see we made some interest there, so that's good. Didn't expect it to change that much. The next figure is the non-retirement investment account. So that's going to be the house money and any other savings that I was able to put aside prior to retiring. By house money, I mean the money that we had from the equity in the home once it sold. So that went to 386. Remember, I'm starting to take some money out to be able to pay for those bucket list items. So that was expected. Plus, there was a bit of a downturn towards the end of October. So I'm okay with that. If you notice in the column next to that, we have our traditional 401k and our Roth 401k. Both of those actually got transferred over to Charles Schwab. So those are zero, as you would expect. So the next figure I have is all of our IRAs, both Fidelity and Charles Schwab, the old 401ks. And that's the pre-tax part. And that figure is now 248. So again, the 401k money got moved over into the IRA. So that makes sense. Next, we have the Roth IRAs, and that will also see an increase because I've moved over the 401k Roth money. And we do. There we go. It's up to 100. So that's great. So lastly, we're going to see our HSA account. And that I am not drawing any money from. I'm trying to get that to double. Eventually, we may use that for premiums, or we may use that for any medical needs that we have as we get older. And that is now increased just a little bit, which is pretty good in this market. So let's look at our total net worth at this point. So it did go down just a little bit. And remember, I took out somewhere in the neighborhood of $11,000 to $12,000 for bucket list items to pay those off. So I'm really pleased with this. I'm really pleased with this. We did have a bit of a downturn, but then it swung up at the end of the month. Now I'm recording this the first after 1 week in November, and it's been a very difficult market to say the least. So, we'll deal with that in the November figures, but we're so close right now to the net worth. I feel like if the market recovers, we could possibly get there. But for right now, as of the end of October, we were $18,872 shy of our goal of $800,000. which means we have a month-over-month decrease in this case of $2,596, which is just 0.33%. So, given the fact that I took all that money out, um, I think that's great because we would have been up, is what that amounts to. We would have been up probably about 1.2%. Um, I did make some money uh, in my dividends and options. So that was great. I think that helped to offset most of that money that was taken out because the markets, honestly, they were pretty erratic the month of October. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And in dividends, we got over $7,000 from the bridge account. So pretty pleased with that. So far, my plan for paying for our travel and, our health insurance and everything through dividends is working very well. I'm very pleased. Otherwise we would probably just be holding it as cash and spending down cash, which, at the end of it, it's gone. At the end of however many years, that money's gone. And my hope is that by using dividends, I can at least be left with some of our non-retirement investment, which right now is 386. We will be left with some of that money by the time that we do retire and start taking Social Security. It doesn't have to be the full amount. I would be thrilled if it was, but if it just starts to eke down slowly, if we have to take 1,000 a month, that's fine. That's doable. And of course, as a last resort, if we had to, Lou could start taking Social Security. So let's look at our graph, our net worth progression graph. And as you can see, we keep going up. The blue line is our net worth balance. From month to month, you can see it dip just a little bit there. But the green line is the trending line, and that does show steady and continuous increase. So that's fantastic. Let's see, things that we still need to do. So before next April 15th, we do need to finish contributing for Lou's 401, not 401k, excuse me, for Lou's IRA. And I need to do our taxes, calculate them fully to see if I'm going to be able to contribute to a Roth IRA. I'm not sure that I will. I think that final consulting engagement with my company that I did, I think that probably put me over the limit to be able to contribute anything towards a Roth even. I know I can't contribute towards an IRA, but I don't think I'm going to even be able to do the Roth. So we will see. I did already put some money in Roth this year, so I'll have to figure out, do I just take that out if I can't, if I'm not eligible, or, how do I address that? So I'm going to have to look into that. But in any case, even though we had a little bit of a decrease, I'm still really pleased because we took a lot of money out this month to prepay for those bucket list items. One of them is a big trip with my grandkids and my daughter, and I'm very, very excited about that one. That one was very expensive because we were paying for two families, but it's going to be just a wonderful time, and the boys are going to have great memories. So, in any case, I hope that your October was really a, a great October for a great month for your investments. And I hope that you're continuing to save and, buying during these periods of dips, take advantage of the dips and just know that, these things happen from time to time. The market's very cyclical. So if it's down, it's a great time to buy. So overall average, the market historically does continue to climb. It may have down periods, but it does continue to climb. So just keep investing. And, just to let you know, I'm really enjoying retirement. It's worth it. All the sacrifice, all the time that we went without to be able to save, it's worth it. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend and we'll talk soon. God bless. Bye.